Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think one way to kind of keep my sanity these days is I've been listening to a lot of jazz. I think that's what really appealed to me with regard to Charlie Brown and the Gang was as a child that I think was my really first exposure to jazz music, and I've appreciated it. Yeah. So here's what I need to say today, whatever it's worth. I don't know. In an era when democracy demands vigilance, I find it deeply troubling to witness the unchecked influence of a billionaire by the name of Elon Musk and the influence over the federal government in people's lives. I feel compelled to speak out against the actions of the president that have encouraged Musk to operate really without any accountability, wielding power that undermines the well-being of federal employees, immigrants, the transgender community, the American public, and democracy itself. Musk's influence over critical sectors, including space exploration and defense contracts, transportation, infrastructure, social media, has gone largely unchallenged. I don't get it. His control over platforms that serve as public squares for public discourse enables him to dictate narratives, silence critics, and perpetuate disinformation with very little consequence. As someone who values ethical governance, I'm alarmed by his acquisition and mismanagement of these resources. I think which really do pose a threat to democratic engagement and civil discourse, amplifying voices of division while suppressing those advocating for justice and equity. Furthermore, Musk's ventures, subsidized by taxpayer dollars, have exacerbated economic disparities, creating environments that exploit workers while yielding a vast personal wealth. Reports of labor violations within his companies, from unsafe working conditions to union-busting tactics, reflect a disregard for the dignity, I believe, of employees, including those serving within federal agencies. It is unacceptable that his actions not only strip workers of their rights, but also really set a dangerous precedent for corporate overreach in government affairs. I'm particularly alarmed by the ramifications of Musk's policies on marginalized communities, the spread of harmful rhetoric and policy decisions driven by his unchecked power has placed already vulnerable groups in greater jeopardy. His arbitrary decisions, and it just seems so damn arbitrary, from reinstating extremist voices on social media platforms to threatening the autonomy of communities that depend on digital spaces for advocacy and safety, or it's just unacceptable. Donald Trump has not only failed to provide necessary oversight and regulation, but has actively supported these injustices as a means of consolidating, well, his own executive power. By granting Musk leeway to operate beyond the bounds of ethical governance, the administration has abandoned its duty, I believe, to protect the most vulnerable in our society. I know I'm just a lone voice. I get it, but it's like I can't stay silent. And if I could just talk to the president directly, I would strongly encourage the president and Congress to take immediate action to curtail Musk's influence, restore ethical oversight, and ensure that government decisions are made in the interests of the people and not of the few and the powerful. And certainly the decisions not being made at the whims of an unelected, emphasized unelected billionaire. Is this a democracy or what? I thought we were. As followers of Christ committed to justice, equity, and the flourishing of all people, we have a duty to confront this crisis. We cannot remain silent while corporate greed and unchecked power threaten the very fabric of our democracy. We as Christians should call on all the faith communities and advocates and policymakers to continue to lift our voices, demanding accountability and resisting this dangerous consolidation of influence. Our commitment to prophetic witness compels us to speak out against this atrocity that is unfolding before us, and to work tirelessly for a nation where all are valued, protected, and free. May God bless you and keep you in your faith journey as together we grow as a community founded on the very ground of loving God and neighbor. You take care. You do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And if it's like me, listening to some jazz music in the background, awesome. You take care of yourself. God bless you.